fans. Josh Redman here, voice of the Peoria Mustangs, for this episode of Around the Stable Coach Show. As you can see, joined by associate head coach Blake Ortman. Blake, how are things going?
Oh, they're going pretty well. I think we've had a good week of work this week with the guys, and they've been battling pretty hard. So we're pretty excited to get back to work this weekend.
As Mustangs fans know, this past weekend, the Oregon Tradesmen in town splitting the weekend. Overall, collectively, both games, how did the coaching staff feel about how the team grew over the weekend?
I think Friday we got some good reps in. I think the theme for us has just been slow starts. It takes us a little bit of time to get our feet under us and everything, but overall, Saturday or Friday, you can't be too upset with a win. I think no matter how you get your 2 points, it's always important. And Saturday we were a little bit disappointed. I feel like we took a step backwards as a team, but we addressed everything, and we did tons of film this week, and we're feeling good about it. At the end of the day, we're only 4 games into the season, so it's bound to happen, especially with as many new guys as we have in the lineup. So I think we're trending in the right direction, and we're excited.
Friday night, you elaborated on a little bit. Mustang scoring first, Caleb Bross with his first career goal, just 2:29 in. That kind of set the tone for the rest of the night. How did it feel to finally score first and kind of get that where you weren't kind of playing from behind mentality?
Oh, it's always good. I think, it adds a little bit of stress, I think, throughout the bench when you get scored on first, because you're playing catch up right away, especially with how our last 2 starts have been the weekend before, where we get scored on fairly early. So it was good to get that first one. There's a different feeling, and you kind of see how players play in different situations, being down the first 2 games we play of the year, and then being up for that game, you kind of see how guys play with a lead. And it's all just situations that you can read as a coach to see who performs under what situations and stuff like that. So it was definitely a different feeling, and we were happy to be up by 1 for sure.
As I mentioned, scoring first, Oregon tied up late in the period, but early in the second period, Massimo Polistina netting the game winner. And it was kind of like full throttle from there on out. Good looks, plenty of good opportunities. Is that what you guys were seeing from the bench as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you got to take advantage of every situation you can. And I think we had a power play goal or 2 on Friday, and it was good to see our special team step up there. I think we stayed perfect on our PK, and then obviously adding the 2. A lot of times if you win the special teams battle, you're going to win the game. And especially in this league, you never know what you're going to get for officiating. I mean, we already have 140 penalty minutes and we're 4 games in, which is pretty crazy, especially for me. It's transition from the North American League back to here. I kind of forgot how everything was called down here compared to down in the NA last year. So definitely a lot more special teams. So it's been something I've had to look at more as a coach, that we need to work a lot more on our special teams.
And looking in between the pipes, Joanne Brophy's second start of the season, once again, just letting 1 goal by, stop 31 of 32. Joe is just seeming like he's playing with a ton of confidence this year. Are you guys getting that same vibe from Joe?
Yeah, we are. I think Joe's been awesome. And, something that we had talked to him over the summer, and it was really Guy worked with him a lot. He was too active in his net, and he needed to just be more composed and be more technical instead of trying to be overly athletic, which is what, maybe something he picked up from Drew Duran last year, because Drew was a very athletic goaltender, but at the same time, he mixed in a lot of technicality in there. And it seems like Joe's just been really technical, and he keeps everything tight, and he hasn't really given up too many bad ones, or I guess he's only given up 2, and, they weren't really his fault. So we're very happy with Joe. And then, as far as Cam goes, 2 5-on-3 goals against is tough. I mean, on the power play and stuff, you're going to get different looks, and you're going to get peppered a lot. And I don't really think we helped him out too much. We're looking at the chances for and chances against. I think it was like 24-10 in his game. So, he was battling, the puck being in his zone quite a bit too. So we're happy with our goaltending right now.
And you kind of got to my next question there with Cam Pendleton. We're going to look at Saturday night, 39 of 42. So, nothing to tip your nose up to. Nobody wants to be on the back end of a 3-0 loss, but Cam Pendleton battled from start to finish. And it just seemed like no matter what, it was always coming from behind for you guys.
Yeah, it really seemed like we were chasing the whole game. And, sometimes we talk about hockey gods all the time in Peoria, and I don't really think we deserve to win that one. I don't think we were putting in that extra effort or winning that extra puck battle, which would separate you and get yourself some good bounces. I think, we had a lot of one and dones, and giving up that many shots, that isn't really our identity at all. And And with the hockey gods sing, it just happened that a lot of calls started going our way. I think there was in the second period, I think we killed 3-5 on 3. We had 3-5 on 3s and they scored on 2 of them. So, sometimes when you don't put the effort in, you aren't rewarded in any way. And that's just kind of how the puck bounced for us on Saturday.
And I know, shots on goal, some people look at it, some people don't. Getting outshot 2 nights in a row, is that an area of concern for the coaching staff thinking, maybe we need to put the puck on net a little bit more?
Not too overly concerning. It's more, when we were doing our video and stuff and our statistics stuff, it's more where the shots are coming from. Friday we gave up a lot of shots, but a lot of them were from the outside, which isn't anything too concerning, especially with our goaltending we have on our team. I think we have 3 guys that can handle those. But Saturday, when you're looking at the shot charts and stuff, it's a lot of them coming from the house and from high percentage areas, and that's not really what you want to see. And it obviously shows what they get those 3 goals as opposed to the one on Friday, but they doubled their high percentage shots. So we don't really look at the number at the end of the day. Obviously as a coach and on paper, it looks better when you have more shots than them, but I'm looking at more high percentage stuff.
And one last thing, Saturday night's game, a little bit of a powder keg there in the second period. Josh Chesney stepping up after a shot that was thrown towards net after the whistle had blown. As a coaching staff, did you guys like that he got in there and kind of got his nose a little bit dirty and stuck up for his goaltender and tried to get that momentum shift?
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. I think, I don't think I don't like to talk about it, but I don't think the play was called properly. I think the shot was well after the whistle, and watching video, you can hear the whistle, and then you can do a 2 Mississippi count on it. The shot goes, Josh comes in there, sticks up for his teammate. I think it shows a lot, especially with how the game was trending at that time. We were getting completely dominated. And I think, Josh is a smart kid. He knows that he needs to do something for the team, especially in the role that he plays. And I think he tried to add a little bit of a spark. On the other foot, it's a little disappointing that a kid does that. It's not easy to jump into someone and fight bare fists. And, you'd like to see the guys respond a little bit better, but we're very happy with Josh. And I think he's been playing awesome this year. And you can see how much he's grown as a person and a player from last year.
And we're going to fast forward a bit, looking ahead to this weekend, sitting at 3-1-2 right now. Second place, 2 points behind Rochester, rather. Heading up to Milwaukee. Seen Milwaukee twice. A little bit of film on them from this past weekend as well. Does that make going into Milwaukee a little bit easier, having seen them twice already and the extra film as well?
Yeah, I think it does. And I think you can see how they played against a different team to see, if they made any adjustments, if their coaching staff made any adjustments when they played St. Louis, or, kind of how they do things. And then obviously, it makes your special teams tremendously easier just because you can kind of see what they do on their breakout and you can kind of match that on your PK. And then obviously when they're killing, you can see what you need to do to try to beat them, and where maybe there's some areas that they struggle in, which I'm sure they're doing the same thing on us. They're seeing which areas we struggle in and everything like that. So it makes film a lot easier, and it kind of got me back into the routine of all the film and everything that I was used to from last year. So it was good to have the film, and I think the guys appreciate it too, because it kind of prepares them a little bit better.
And Milwaukee sitting at 1-2-1, splitting last weekend down in St. Louis, as you mentioned, an overtime loss and then a regulation win Sunday afternoon. Are you guys anticipating Milwaukee, there being their home opener, to them to be a hungry team coming into that for a victory on home ice, especially to get their home part of the schedule kicked off?
Absolutely. I think Milwaukee's always a hungry team. They, that's their identity. They bring it every single game, and they're going to be physical. And I think their coach is doing a good job. So he's had a little bit more time to work with them and stuff. And obviously this week, like we just talked about, they have opportunities to have 4 games of film on us. And, it's going to be a little bit of a chess match at the beginning of the weekend, but I'm sure they're going to come out flying for their home opener, and I'm sure they'll have a great crowd and everything. So we're excited. It's a fun division to be in. I think anybody can beat anyone on any night. So it's definitely a fun division to be a part of.
And this is something you and I have talked about a couple times. A lot of guys going on their first road trip, first road series. How do the coaches kind of ease the nerves, especially you're going up to Milwaukee, they're playing in a new building, a home opener, first road trip for some guys. I mean, that's a lot to digest in a day, let alone a weekend series. How do you guys help them adjust and kind of just get a little even on that?
I think we talked about this a while back too, and it's just keeping them as organized as possible. I think we kind of laid their days out Starting Friday, we have their whole day laid out for them, so they don't have to do any thinking. They just have to show up to places. Things are going to be ready for them. They put their skates on, jump on the ice, and they're running. And I think playing in front of such a big crowd that Saturday night, the first weekend, definitely prepared them for situations like that, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of parents there, but there's a lot of people they don't know either. So it's going to be the same situation. I think we'll have some of our parents in the building in Milwaukee and just a bunch of fans. And we're going to rely on our veteran leadership group and everyone to kind of steer the ship for us and kind of let them know how it goes. So, it's not something we're trying to be too concerned about, but I think our guys are pretty excited.
At the end of the day, that one ultimate goal going to be coming out of Milwaukee with 4 points and trying to get up there with Rochester. Is that kind of what you guys are preaching during the week, or is it just kind of let's go in there and see what happens?
At this stage of the year right now, we're just preaching good reps, and whatever happens. I think if you get the best possible reps and we execute our game plan, a lot of the times, more than not, you're going to end up with your points at the end of the day. But right now, it's just good reps, and you're preparing yourself to keep building throughout the season, and you don't want to take any steps backwards, and you want to just keep going forward.
All right, Mustangs fans, that is associate head coach Blake Ortman. If you can't make it up to West Bend, Wisconsin this weekend to catch the Mustangs action, you can catch it all on Hockey TV or by following along on Mustang's social media platforms. Blake, once again, thanks for your time. Greatly appreciate it, and best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it.